Everyone who's able to, go call your mom and tell her you love her right now. And if you're not able to, then I'm sorry for my lack of sensitivity. This episode, it's kind of heavy. Understatement of the year, right? I usually try to keep things pretty light, but just a content warning, the first half of this video is going to be pretty serious, probably. If you click this video, pretty good chance that you're watching Dandadan. If you're not, please leave before you get spoiled. Please, I'm begging you. But this is where Dandadan goes from good to great to legitimately incredible, and a story that actually means a lot to me. As a fan of the manga, I'm happy to say that this is probably the best anime episode that I've seen this year. They knocked it out of the park. This is everything that this medium can be. It's a beautiful audio visual experience. It's incredibly creative in every way. The writing is unbelievable. It's heartbreaking. It's thematically amazing. And as the title implies, it really crushed me, but it also gave me hope. More on that later. But man, there's just so much to unpack. Quick recap. This episode shows us the long-awaited backstory of the acrobatic Silky yokai, and we learn that she was once a single mother working multiple jobs to provide for her daughter, who seems to be the only thing that she lived for. She went as far as even becoming a prostitute for the sake of her daughter, until her daughter is taken away from her. Consumed by grief, she takes her own life, and because she carried this rage within her, she becomes a yokai. I don't even know where to start here, so maybe I'll start with something that I've been saying all season, which is that Dandadan is incredible at visual storytelling. The directing, the pacing of the shots, the little things like the flash of color here when the Silky gets kicked out of or I guess I should say headbutted out of the warehouse, or letting the shot linger while Ira's mom walks down the street with her umbrella. There's so many touches of personality in things that just could have been played straight. It all comes together in this absolute gut punch of a backstory that barely even has any dialogue. The visuals and the directing choices give you all of the information that you need to not just understand what's happening, but to become deeply invested, even though you kind of know the outcome. Without any words, you understand the struggle, the hardship, the desperation that these parents, especially mothers, especially single mothers, have to go through. You understand how easily many of these women get tossed aside by men who are happy to take advantage of them when it's convenient, and you understand the powerlessness of watching your child get trafficked in front of your eyes for the crime of you showing them your love by buying them a dress when you have the absolute audacity to not be wealthy. The thing is, this backstory is real. This has probably happened in some way to an unbelievable number of women around the world. But it's also not just sad for the sake of being sad. This is a love letter to those same parents, the ones who work their asses off for almost no appreciation just to make ends meet for the love of their children. It's about how that love drives them, but also makes them regret because they always think that they could have done more. I'm tearing up a little bit even talking about it because it's so tragic, but it's also kind of cathartic and kind of heartwarming because at the end of this tragic backstory, we see that a few words of love and appreciation, of knowing that all of that suffering, all of that hard work, knowing that it was all worth something, that you will be remembered, that you will be appreciated, even if it's just by one person. That's all it takes. And that is a very encouraging thought. So thank you to Yukinobu Tatsu, to the team at Science Saru, and to anyone else who was involved in making this. Thank you for making me appreciate everything that my parents did for me when it's very easy to take it all for granted. Oh man, that was heavy. That is tough shit to talk about. I want to try to lighten it up now by talking about some of the other awesome things that happened in this episode that also add to the emotional gut punch that we just went through. One of those things is the way that this backstory is actually folded in to the main storyline. We learn about the acrobatic Silky's backstory because Momo learns about it. And she learns about it because she's literally connecting to the Silky's aura, her soul itself, so that she can charge up Ira like a friggin' dead car battery, like a friggin' 15-year-old Corolla that won't start because it was a little too cold last night and you didn't park it in the garage. I'm just kidding. You can't kill a 15-year-old Corolla. They're like cockroaches. Those things will probably get discovered in 1,000 years by whatever alien race finds our ruins. But anyways, back to Dandadan. It's little things like that that take this show to the next level. Because it'll take tropes that you've seen a million times, whether it's the awkward boy, popular girl romance, wow, this one again, or the classic cliche bad guy backstory after they get their butt kicked. Where have you seen that one before? Literally every other shonen. But it takes these cliches and it executes them so well, you don't have a choice but to like it. People compare the sequence to Demon Slayer sometimes, favorably, because this is on a completely different level, but there have been people calling Demon Slayer mid since it came out, basically, and sometimes it can be hard to articulate why exactly, until you see something like this and it's immediately clear how much better the writing could get in a story like that. It's all the same ingredients, but it's all in the execution. But my other biggest takeaway from this episode, my boy Okarun, he's got no balls, fast as fuck in a straight line, but can't turn for shit, doesn't know how to fight, but absolutely loyal enough to fight anyone. My boy's got that dog in him, what can I say? The duality of man, am I right? Anyways, I hope whoever is watching enjoyed the episode. I hope you found something interesting about my thoughts on the episode. If you did, please leave a like or a comment. Subscribe to the channel. I'll have Dandadan content and other content coming up. But I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Tell your parents you love them. Unless your parents suck, in which case I'm sorry. But I still love you. Bye-bye. I'll see you next week.